Walk us through last season, growing pains, that sort of thing, just kind of where you were, where you ended up, and just kind of where you want to go from here.
You know, last year was last year. But I think my biggest focus is focusing on this year. You know what I'm saying? But I feel comfortable and I feel confident in the position that I'm in now.
A guy like yourself, sometimes it's kind of negative outside noise. People are like, oh, he needs to move to this position. He needs to move to this position. What kind of motivation does that give you when you're like, okay, I'm gonna show these guys this is what I'm capable of?
Honestly, I try not to pay attention to it. I try to block it out because it's clutter as much as possible. But whenever I do happen to see things, you know what I'm saying? Their opinion don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like the only opinion that matters is my teammates and my coaches. I feel like the only people whose opinion matters is my teammates and my coaches. You know what I'm saying? I'm here to be the best quarterback and best leader possible I can be for my team.
Outside of being a quarterback, just being a guy who's coming to college, getting used to that new lifestyle, getting used to new schedules, getting used to having to be here at this time and be here at this time, what's that been like for you, and how quickly were you able to kind of adapt to it and get kind of focusing back on football, or was it something that kind of caught you off guard?
No, not at all, because I've always been a guy that managed time well. You know what I'm saying? My mom kind of instilled that within me. You know what I'm saying? But it didn't catch me off guard at all. I can manage time pretty well, and I feel like I didn't struggle with it at all.
When you come into a program with guys like Jake Bentley, who's been kind of through those growing pains and seems to be like a really open guy as far as kind of bringing in those new guys and walking them along. Then you have a guy like Scarnecchia, who maybe didn't get as much playing time as he wanted to, but he's got tons of knowledge and tons of just experience, that sort of thing. How is it for a guy like you? Are you a guy that asks lots and lots of questions, or are you a guy that just kind of sits back and observes and just soaks it all in? How does that work for you?
A little of both, but I feel like those guys help me be comfortable with asking them a question if I needed to. Those guys have been very vulnerable to me. They've made themselves very available. You know what I'm saying? So I can ask them a question whenever I need to, on and off the field about anything. And I'm very grateful to have a guy like Jake in my quarterback room. Even still this year, 2 years. I've been here for 2 years now. I had him under my belt twice. I've been under his belt for 2 years. But I think he's helped me in a lot, man. And I appreciate him, and even Scar, him being a vet. I just talked to Scar before I came in. He asked me if I'm ready. I'm like, I'm ready. You know what I'm saying? So yes, sir.
Compared yourself to last year to this year, where do you feel like you've made significant improvement?
Confidence. I think that's the biggest thing I've grown in terms of challenging myself every single day, because you're your biggest competitor. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I take every day and I try to be better than yesterday every single day. And God has helped me improve in tremendous ways of being confident.
When you look at the guys on the team and you know that there's a saying that you're only as good as your last game, and then you see a game like a Virginia or an Akron where offensively no points have been put up on the board in the last 6 quarters. What does that do for, kind of the offensive guys in there knowing, okay, we got to get that goose egg off there? Is there any of that kind of talk going on, or is it just kind of business as usual, let's get ready for this North Carolina game?
Honestly, the past is the past. We don't reflect on it at all, and I feel like the only thing we can control is moving forward. I think training camp is our main focus. That I know is our main focus at this point, and I think all the hard work we put in all spring, all summer, that's definitely going to pay off.
What would be the perfect season for you? If you could kind of write out a script as to what happens for this season for you, what kind of stuff would you like to see?
National championship. You know what I'm saying? Because I know the work that as a team we've put in, and the first thing I'm going to write down is a national championship.